What is the alt-right, and why is it growing? Well, the rise of the alt-right can be really solely put on the failures of conservatives. The alt-right is an alternative to American conservatism. Now, why would we need that? Well, maybe because conservatives have failed to conserve anything. What have you conserved? Our debt is at 21 trillion and growing. Rand Paul wants to put forward the two-penny plan, which would cut spending across the board in all departments by 1% each year. Now, the sad thing is, most conservatives won't even vote for that. Did you conserve marriage? No. Have you conserved traditional family values? No. Have you conserved God in our government? One nation under God? We can't even say it. See, conservatives have failed to conserve anything, and the alt-right is growing because we need an alternative to that. See, if Donald Trump exposed one thing, it was that the conservatives and the liberals, there's not much difference. Very, very, very little difference. Not enough to matter. It's a monolithic party. It's a monolithic party that has sold itself out to the highest bidder. See, conservatives have bastardized both government and capitalism. You've failed across the board. And why do they attack the alt-right? Because the alt-right will take their power. They attack the alt-right because it's primarily white men. And anything that's primarily white can no longer exist in this country. See, all groups can have their interest groups. Blacks can have their interest groups. Mexicans can have their interest groups. Jews can have their interest groups. But God forbid European males bond together into a group. See, conservatism has conserved nothing, and individualism is an Achilles heel. Now, you can judge the individual based on individualism, but all politics is collectivism. When we collectively voted Donald Trump in, we collectivized our ideals and set aside our small quabbles to vote in a Republican by name only. And that was a collective feat. See, it takes collectivism in politics to get anywhere. Now, we're not saying that white identity is better than all other identities, and it's not a racist ideology. It's just looking back at what our founding fathers did, and the blood and sacrifice that was given over the last 250 years to get us where we are. And the frustration that we have is that our government is selling out all of that they're selling all of that to the highest bidder, these multinational global corporations that are trying to usher in globalism. And they hide behind this word conservative. But they're selling us out to the highest bidder as they bring in the third world to lower wages and hurt the American. And frankly, a lot of us are fed up with it. We don't want violence. We don't want all of these people to be forced back to their homeland. But we want things to change. And things have to change. Because if there's one thing that can be said about Europeans, it's that we're nice until we're not. See, we've welcomed all this, and a large amount of us have actually been brainwashed into thinking that to secure a future for Europeans is a racist ideology. But if any other group were to say it, we would clap and say, how brave are they? This has got to end. Now, yes, there is a promotion of white identity politics, but why is that wrong? Why is it wrong for whites to seek what they want? Their interests. Every other group has that. No one calls it racist. And in a Prager University video, I saw them say that the alt-right is a rejection of God. Well, that's just wrong. See, they've put this movement on the shoulders of Richard Spencer, who is an atheist. But Richard Spencer does not represent the alt-right. Richard Spencer isn't even on the right. He's an identitarian, but his beliefs are not on the right. He is a socialist. And they also called out the subordination of the individual to the group. See, if you have a leader, you have to subordinate yourself to that. And that doesn't mean that you blindly follow, but that means you get behind those that have say, that have the ability to lead. All groups need leaders. All countries need leaders. And to subordinate yourself to the group in the pursuit of protecting your individual interests, there is nothing wrong with that. See, we have to collectivize our interests to gain political power. Politics is nothing but collectivism. And there is nothing wrong with that. And there is nothing wrong with wanting Europeans, people of European heritage in America, who founded and built this country and toiled over the soil for the last 250 years, to continue what our ancestors have built and what they wanted for us. See, we live in a first world nation. But how long can we bring in the third world before we become that third world?